So people ask me, what are the unwritten rules that define how people are going to act? I've been able to identify 5 general ones. The first one is fairly simple. It's called the unwritten rule of possibility. What that means is that every time that you look at a task, every time that you try something new, the very first question you ask yourself is this: is it possible? And how you answer that question often defines whether you're even willing to try or attempt that activity. The second rule is what I call the rule of capability. Now, capability is very similar to possibility, but it goes one step further. The unwritten rule of possibility says, is that activity possible? The unwritten rule of capability says, can I do it? And the answer that you come up with will often define whether you're willing to even attempt that activity. Rule number 3 is one of my favorite rules because it talks about what I call the rule of mastery. And what the rule of mastery is, deals with how you become good at something. Unfortunately, we have been taught since we were 12 years old, or even younger, that the way we learn is digital. You are exposed to something and then you know how to do it. Most of the research shows that we don't learn that way. The way we learn, the way we become a master at any skill is through practice and hard work, and it takes time. In other words, learning is analog. It's gradual. And the difficulty is that if you say the unwritten rule of mastery is that it's digital, you will try it once and then give up. The fourth unwritten rule is one of my favorites. It is what I call the unwritten rule of association. What this translates to is that we like to hang out with and spend time with people who are like us. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But what happens in groups is that if everyone comes in with the exact same skill set, what ends up happening is the creativity of the group goes down. So to break that rule, what we've got to do is figure out a way to hang out with people who have different skill sets, different interests, different likes and different dislikes, even people that look different than us. Number 5, the 5th unwritten rule that we deal with, is one that I call the unwritten rule of importance. We do the things that we think are important. Unfortunately, most of us think that the most important person in the world is us. You can talk to everyone, especially a young person, and they'll say it's all about them. And when that happens, when as a leader, when as a team member, you say it's all about you and that you're the most important thing, you set up a situation where there's argument, discussion, there's often anger and frustration because you're not getting your own way. There are many, many more unwritten rules, but these 5 unwritten rules will set the stage for your success or failure in almost any activity.